in Mexico is governed by several official Mexican standards to ensure the quality and safety of tourist services. In this video, we will give an overview of the most relevant norms. For more detailed understanding, and in order to complete your assessments and answer the questionnaires, I encourage you to review the full norms, which are available in the folder titled Official Mexican Standards, which is in the course information section. Norm 6, Tour 2017, sets a rigorous standards for tourist service providers operating adventure camps in Mexico, focusing on safety and quality in camping and adventure activity. It mandates registration with the National Tourist Registry and compliance with internal regulations to ensure transparency and legal adherence. Key aspects include operational requirements, hygiene standards, safety protocols, and provisions on adequate facilities and equipment, promoting fairness and inclusivity through non-discrimination practices. Operational compliance and inspection procedures detailed in Chapter 4 enforce adherence to the norm through document checks, visual inspections, and interviews. These verify compliance with regulations on registration certificates, internal rules, and reservation policies, aiming to uphold safety, hygiene, and operational efficiency at camping facilities. The standards include a verification criteria table, guiding inspectors in assessing facility adequacy, safety protocols, and equipment standards for service providers and organized camps. Inspections cover reception areas, sanitary services, water and waste management systems, fire safety equipment, and personnel identification. Chapter 5 outlines additional requirements for organized camps, enhancing supervision, safety, and camper engagement through centralized offices, medical access, structured activities, and a counselor radius. Chapter 7, which is final provisions, ensure consistency enforcement, adjustment, and a repeal of conflicting regulations, maintaining high standards across Mexico camping tourism sector. Norm 6, Tour 2009, is a Mexican standard that regulates campsites to ensure they provide adequate information, hygiene, and safety for tourists. It applies nationwide to all individuals and legal entities involved in operating campsites, as outlined by the Federal Tourist Law. This standard aims to enhance the overall experience and safety of tourists using these facilities across Mexico. The objective of the norm is to establish clear requirements for campsites to provide improved information, hygiene, and safety in their services. The standard mandates that campsites must have internal regulations in Spanish. We can also include other languages, detailed information, hygiene, safety conditions, and environmental considerations. These regulations must be promptly displayed at camp entrances or reception areas and enforced by camp personnel. Campsites must clearly inform tourists about their service tariffs, entitlement, and conditions upon admission with visible signs for tariffs and additional charges. Facilities should use both pictorial and textual signs to indicate access points, evacuation routes, and safety measures. Environment guidelines require proper waste management, maintaining distance from natural features, and safe fire use procedures to prevent forest fires. Hygiene standards mandate the management of solid waste and designated disposal areas and regular cleaning schedules. Sanitary facilities must prevent water contamination with cleaning guidelines, using biodegradable detergents. Safety provisions include visible emergency preparedness documentation, firefighting equipment, life jackets, and marked safety zone. Campsites must adhere to requirements for registration areas, operational seasons, service hours, personnel identification, and first aid provisions. NOM 7 Tour 2002 addresses insurance for tourist accommodation service providers, specifically civil liability. This standard establishes the minimum specifications for civil liability insurance that tourist accommodation services providers must comply. Providers must contract civil liability insurance with insurers authorized by the National Insurance and Bonding Commission. The insurance policy must meet the minimum required specified by this norm, and it be valid all times. Provided must retain proof of insurance payment and validity. They are required to inform tourists about the insurance coverage through visible notice in reception areas, rooms, or internal regulations. Multiple languages and accessible formats are obligatory. Providers must ensure subcontractors have valid civil liability insurance for complementary services, because they are responsible for covering deductible and co-insurance costs themselves without transferring these to tourists or users. The insurance policy must cover non-intentional acts or omissions causing injury, damage, or loss to tourists or users, including liability as owners, lessees, or usufructuaries of premises used for accommodation services. Comfortee assessments will be conducted by the Secretary of Tourism and also accredited inspections units under the Quality Infrastructure Law. Providers must rectify any non-conformities identified during the inspections in accordance with the applicable legislation. This norm ensures that providers of tourist accommodation services have adequate civil liability insurance to effectively manage and respond to liabilities arising from their services. NOM 8 Tour 2002 establishes rigorous standards for general and specialized tourist guides to enhance tourist safety and protect natural and cultural heritage. The NOM outlines procedure and information requirements to ensure professional guidance and preserve the integrity of tourist sites. General tourist guides must have recognized technical level studies and throughout knowledge of national attractions, allowing them to operate across the country. Specialized guides, on the other hand, need specific expertise related to particular cultural or historical sites. The regulation mandates that guides obtain a credential from the Secretary of Tourism, which requires periodical renewal and ongoing professional development. General tour guides must complete 160 hours of training every 4 years, while specialized guides need 84 hours of relevant education. Guides are also required to provide accurate information, adhere to operational rules, and display their credentials, with clear penalties for not compliance with all this. This framework ensures a high standard of professionalism and quality in tourist services. NOM 9 2002 requires only that specialized tourist guides must adhere to require obtaining a recognition credential from the secretary with documentations such as CURP or RFC. Those with that technical or professional tourist degrees must also meet additional requirements, including medical and first aid certification. Chapter 5 of this NOM specifies guidelines for adventure tourist activities like diving, kayaking, and climbing, specifying the specified levels, basic, intermediate, or advanced. Also, they may need to meet safety standards in the same basis. It includes also requirements to open water diving guides, mandatory equipment, and emergency procedures. The standard emphasizes the importance of safety and emergency protocols, ensuring that guides protect tourists' physical and cultural well-being. It also mandates comprehensive training for tourists and clear information about activities. The NOM includes regulation for using enriched air in diving, with strict standards for equipment and safety to protect tourism and environment. Overall, it ensures safety, professionalism, and high-quality services in adventure and natural tours. NOM 11, Tour 2001, defines procedures and requirements for tourist information and safety, as well as the protection of respect of national resources and cultural heritage. The standard is mandatory nationwide for service provider intermediaries offering tourist services for tourists. Providers must ensure safety measures that are placed before and during services. They must inform tourists about their services, costs, payment methods upon their arrival. Tourists must receive orientation sessions converting activity schedules, weather conditions, health requirements, safety measures, and any documentation of insurance coverage. Providers and tourists must follow internal regulations, including environmental considerations, such as the use of existing camping areas, avoid damage to fragile surfaces, planning sanitary facilities away from water bodies. Before activities commence, participants must complete forms with detailed personal information, emergency contacts, sign acknowledge of orientation received. Minors require parental consent. Providers must implement training operation programs, safety manuals, and accident insurance. They must equip activities with specialized gear suitable for local conditions and ensure compliance with legal permissions. Providers are responsible for ensuring both staff and tourists preserve cultural heritage and natural resources. Providers must comply and supply tourists with necessary equipment, as NOM 09/1997 specifies. These regulations are designed to uphold safety, environmental stewardship, and service quality